welcome everybody. My name is Jamie Gruber, and this is the Multifamily and More Expert Series, where we talk to an expert specifically about a topic about, whether it's real estate, mindset, or anywhere in between. My guest today, Grant Drzyzga. I think I said that right. Grant Drzyzga is
Nailed it.
owner and operator and founder of a company called Revela, which is a software that allows property owners, landlords to more effectively manage their portfolio. And he'll get into the details on that. Quick background, Grant is a Michigan native. He's born and bred, went to Brown, so he's a smart guy out in Rhode Island for a few years. And while there, came up with the idea for this company while working for a property management firm in New England. Moved back to Detroit and has been part of the downtown tech scene since 2015, watching it all blow up around him. So Grant, welcome to the Expert Series.
Thanks a lot, Jamie. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit more about you and about how Revela came to be.
Sure. So, I think I told you the story when we talked back in July, but, I was in my apartment in college, cold winter evening in Rhode Island. It's very cold and damp there. And I noticed it was getting colder very gradually. And I was like, oh, this isn't good. So I checked the thermostat and was like, oh, well, yeah, it's definitely getting colder, not set at 62. So called my management company, tried texting the leasing agent, tried driving by the office to see if anyone was there. Nobody got back to me for a few days. I was literally sleeping with a hairdryer on under my blankets, and, they eventually fixed the problem. But instead of thinking, these guys are terrible at their jobs and, this is just a, byproduct of a bad process, I was like, there has to be something like deeper going on here. They didn't want this to happen to me. They didn't want a tenant to have a bad experience. So I maybe fibbed a little bit and said I had a school project where I had to shadow a local business. And I ended up spending the second half of my senior year just kind of watching what they did. And they were managing a pretty big portfolio, about 560 units, just around Brown. And it was just a disaster. Paper stacked to the ceiling, checks falling behind the desk, phone ringing off the hook, 70 unlistened to voice messages, 300 unread emails. And I was like, man, there's got to be a better way to kind of aggregate all of this stuff that kind of happens around, these assets as businesses. And that's kind of where the idea came from.
Beautiful. All right. So you're a young guy seeing the need for a solution, and you start to create that solution while in college. So Fast forward now, you move to Detroit, you start Revela, and give me sort of like the story from that point. What's been the progress of Revela up till now?
Yeah, absolutely. We've learned a lot, right? So our initial assumptions weren't, incorrect, but obviously there was some refining to be had there. So, originally we thought, hey, we really need to fix this, people finding apartments and then people managing them problem. It turns out trying to build a website that markets apartments is a really, really expensive and bad idea. It's kind of like bringing a knife to a nuclear weapon fight, right? Because CoStar owns most of the stuff in the space.
It's fair.
So we kind of retooled our focus around the management piece and really making that easy. And we noticed over time that there were a lot of things happening around property management. Like you might be doing a capital improvement project or an acquisition, and traditional property management software doesn't really cover those things. And so we thought to ourselves, hey, why couldn't the software you use to manage your properties also be the software you use to manage your business? So kind of taking all of those workflows, we built out a really robust project management feature, a lot of big CRM features. So, VoIP integrations, text messaging, inbound and outbound, email integrations, inbound and outbound, calendar stuff, task scheduling. So it's really, kind of morphed from, hey, let's, create a better mousetrap to, hey, we kind of figured out that as people in the space are growing their businesses, they need more than just property management software. They need something that's going to be a tool where everything's going to live, where they're going to run their business. And so that's kind of how it's evolved over time. And to date, we've got about 48,000 units on our platform. We're hoping to add another 30,000 by the end of the year if all goes well, with a couple of deals we have out west. So yeah, it's been great. Literally started with 50 grand in seed funding, and here we are.
Here you are. That's fascinating. So if I'm hearing this right, if you use, we'll just throw out some products, right? People have heard of Buildium or Appfolio
Sure.
or Yardi or any of these, right?
Yeah.
What I think I heard was you have that, which is just your core property management software. Mm-hmm. What you've integrated is Google Voice, Podio. Maybe I'm missing a few things, but all these different pieces that a property manager, maybe an effective property manager, may use if they are using anything beyond their core property management software. Does that make sense? Is that a fair assessment of what your product does?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and again, I want to stress we self-built kind of all this stuff, including workflow management. We built our own version of DocuSign so you can sign leases electronically through our platform. We really believe that everything is kind of one process within property management. And if we're not in control of it, if we're relying on somebody else to provide the tech for it, it usually fails, right? That's the kind of point-to-point integration problem in the space right now, especially when you're dealing with bigger guys like Yardi or RealPage. They're huge software suites and they do a great job at what they do, but it's really, really complicated to get a stack built within that ecosystem, right? You might have 15 products that you're buying from one vendor and then 16 that you're buying from just other people out in the marketplace, and tying all that together when they've got different databases, they're written in different languages by different people at different times, creates this integration problem. And so we solve that by kind of taking responsibility and saying, hey, we know what the product footprint looks like. We just kind of have to buck up, build it, deploy it, and get user feedback so that we can continue to improve.
Okay. And I think, just to get really, really specific on this, I think a key component, and correct me if I'm wrong, on your platform is if you have some sort of project that you're working on within your portfolio, unit turns, excuse me, trying to manage the contractor process, whatever it may be. I know for a fact that those other products we discussed don't usually integrate that. They may have like a vendor list that you can keep, so it it's nice, but they don't allow you the management function of those projects. But your software, I believe, does.
Yep, exactly. So it's everything from project accounting to interfacing with vendors. So we process invoices, for example. So vendors can email invoices to an email address that we control. We have tech that opens up the invoice, reads it, codes it where it's supposed to go, and sends it to you to pay it. We can also text them, work orders or different tasks within a project. So if you want an assessment from somebody, say, on a roof, you can text 15 vendors that you have that are all roofers, and you can get bids from them all kind of managed within one process.
Very cool. All right. So if you're a property manager or property owner, well, actually, I should ask it this way: what is your kind of avatar, your customer avatar? What's your perfect customer? Is it 100 plus units? Is it, hey, we can do 1 unit to a million units? Do you have sort of a core customer profile that you're marketing to mostly, or that your product serves?
Yeah, definitely. So usually we do it by unit count or by square feet managed. So it's usually between 500 to 5,000 units under management, or about 1 million to 5 million square feet of commercial space. Those are kind of your middle to upper middle market operators, and that's kind of where we see there's a lot of issues that stem from you start off maybe in a Buildium or an Appfolio, and then you get to about 1,000 units, and it's like, okay, well I've kind of outgrown the workflow. I need something that's a little bit more customizable, and that's when you either bite the bullet and pay the $40,000-$50,000 implementation fee with one of the big guys, or you go with something that might be a little bit older, might be a little bit more cut rate, but is more customizable. And we try to fit right in there to kind of give you the best of both worlds. We want to be at the cutting edge with technology, make things as automated and easy as possible, but we also don't want to sit here and say, hey, it's going to be 80 grand to get set up, right? So that's pretty much perfect for us.
That makes sense. Because I know guys, excuse me, in that portfolio size, 500, 1,000, maybe a little bit more units, and they are piecing it together, right? They're using those products we talked about along with, and they've got these 3 or 4 things that, okay, they work for them. They can automate these different sections of what they do. But to your point, they're all kind of one's here. They're not synced up. They're not integrated completely. So that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Anything else that you want to share about Revela or what's next?
Oh man, there's a lot of stuff that's next. So we recently closed a deal with a large accounting firm. So in addition to, offering our core software platform, which has, maintenance, leasing, project management, accounting, marketing, all that good functionality built in, we're now offering accounting services in tandem with our new partnership with this firm. So it's both software and for guys that are in growth mode, bookkeeping services, tax filing at the end of the year, cost segregation studies, all within kind of a monthly package. So that's kind of the immediate what's next. After that, it's just continuing to refine and make things easier, make processes better, and try to reach, new heights of the market.
Yeah, I like it. So yeah, the way I would couch your product, if I were talking about it, it's almost like the you go from managing property to managing your business, to your point, right? Like you're managing a real estate business with your product. Every other product right now, it seems, serves the business of serves the purpose of managing property or managing units. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So
all right.
We want to make it easy, man.
Absolutely.
We want to make it easy.
Simple enough, right? So where can people find out more about you, about your products? How can they get in touch with you if they need to? All that good stuff.
Sure, absolutely. So you can visit our website, revela.co, C-O. You can email me directly at grant@revela.co. I'm happy to, field any questions, schedule demos, kind of show you guys what we're working on. And, you can reach us at, let me pull up we just got a new number. Let me see. Let me remember what that is.
Who talks on the phone anymore?
Man, I talk on the phone all day.
You mean you're on Skype or Zoom on the phone?
No, I talk on the actual phone. Like, wow. I looked at it, I think it was probably a month ago, and I'd logged like 200 days over the lifetime of this phone, like on the phone. It's kind of obscene, but what are you gonna do?
Hey, you're driving, you're building a business.
Oh, where is this? Okay, here we go. It's 855-738-3521.
Got it. Perfect. All right. Well, thanks, Grant. I appreciate you coming on. Everybody that wants to check out revela.co, it's revela.co, no M on the end of that. Really easy site to navigate as well, and it'll give you a really good idea of what exactly they're all about. And Grant at revela.co to reach out and schedule some time. Thanks again, Grant. I appreciate you being on.
Thanks a lot, man. Talk to you later.
Right. Yep.